What's going on, move makers? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Moriah and you are tuning in to Making Moves with Moriah. All right, you guys, so I am actually going to be doing a 4-day trip today, and honestly it's really crazy because I didn't even think I was going to get this trip because I actually picked up this trip in December. So I was just like, oh yeah, it's already in my calendar. But a couple days ago it was just completely gone, as if I had dropped the trip. I was like, whoa, what is going on? I had to call crew scheduling immediately because this is a high credit trip. So of course I want this trip on my schedule. And I'm asking like what happened, and they're telling me that, oh, like one of the crew schedulers forgot to like basically finalize the trip on my schedule. So it kicks me off the trip and it went back to what we call open time. So basically anybody else could grab the trip, and a different flight attendant had grabbed the trip. And I was like, wow, like what the heck, because this has never happened to me before. And they're like, oh, no worries, we're gonna fix it for you. And I was like, thank you. I felt bad because the other flight attendant probably thinks that they're about to get this trip, but it was originally scheduled to me because I picked it up first. So I'm gonna need that trip. But at the end of the day, I got my schedule all together. Crew scheduling helped out so much. So I am doing this 4-day trip. Today is day 1, and I will be traveling from Atlanta to Gulfport, Mississippi, back to Atlanta, and then we're going to Wilmington, North Carolina tonight, and I'll be laying over there. I believe I already showed that hotel and everything, but if not, I'm just gonna do it just in case because I can't really remember. But it's a pretty nice hotel. I've been there a few times, so I can't wait to show y'all everything. But for now, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and run to Target because you know I had to do me a little drive up order, and I'm just run a couple errands and everything and make sure I get everything squared away. My report time is at 2:30, so I believe our flight leaves at 3:30 today. I will keep you guys updated and see y'all in Wilmington, North Carolina. What's going on, move makers? Today is day 2 of my 4-day trip. Last night was so cool. Me and my flight crew, we actually hung out and was talking and getting to know each other in like the lobby area of the hotel, and it was just really cool because I've never done that with any of my flight crew. So it was nice to actually like bond a little bit, and I feel like that just really helps with the trips because once you kind of get to know each other more, you guys are able to work better together. But anyway, you guys, we also just went to go get some tacos. Those tacos were so good, very authentic. Like, I messed those tacos up. They were so good. But anyway, guys, I only have 2 legs, which is awesome. So I'm flying from Wilmington, North Carolina back to Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Springfield, Missouri. And we have a 2-hour sit once we get back to Atlanta, so not really looking forward to that. But you know, I can get some things done. I'm probably going to be editing and just doing some things on my laptop just to help the time go faster. But I am working the aft or the back of the aircraft today, so I will be doing coffee, water, tea service and just, you know, helping out the passengers back there. So I will keep you guys updated, and I will see y'all when I make it to Springfield, Missouri. Good morning, move makers. I have made it to Springfield, Missouri. I was so tired last night, like took a shower and jumped in the bed. I think it was because of my passengers yesterday. Like, they were really nice, but it was just weird because one of our flights was just water, coffee, tea, and we do that purposely because it's less miles, so it's easier for us to get through that type of service with all the passengers that we have on board. And every time I would be like, hey, like, how you doing? Would you like water, coffee, tea? And they would be like, do you have juice? Do you have Coke? And I'm like, I just told you what the options were: coffee, water, or tea. And it was just so crazy. Like, I don't know why. Like, they just kept asking for juice, Coke, all this stuff. I'm just like, this is not this type of flight. Like, this is a quick flight, so we don't have time for all that. But then when I was on my flight from Atlanta to Springfield, that is a full service. So that is all the sodas, the juice, all that good stuff. Walking down the aisle, people, I'm like, hi, what would you like to drink today? They would just be like, oh, can I get a water? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I think it's just so odd because on my other flight, when it was just water, coffee, tea, everybody wants everything else. But then when I do have everything, they just want water. I was just like, okay, it's fine. But other than that, everything else was really smooth. I honestly have one of the best flight crews this trip. Like, my captain, first officer, my flying partner, like, everybody's just so nice, so cool. We actually do activities together, like, you know, getting Mexican the other day and stuff like that. And it's just a really good energy. So I am just so grateful and glad that we are working so well together. And you already know, you guys, today is day 3 of my 4 days. So tomorrow is go home day. And today I only have 2 legs. So I'm going from Springfield, Missouri to Atlanta to Jacksonville, North Carolina. So super easy trips. Shouldn't be too crazy or anything today. Like, again, great flight crew. So we're gonna get it done. Other than that, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish my breakfast that I got this morning. It's like this bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. So good. Like, sis did her thing on that sandwich. So I'm definitely gonna finish that. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my way to this van. So I will see you guys going to Jacksonville, North Carolina. I'll see you there. What's going on, Windmakers? I have made it to Jacksonville, North Carolina. Y'all, it was a lot to get here. I literally feel like I was probably on like the aircraft of hell. So let me go ahead and break this all down to you guys, because it was just issue after issue after issue. And I'm just like, are we gonna get to Jacksonville? Like, what is going on? So first thing, I get on the aircraft. Everything looks pretty good. I'm like, all right, put my stuff up. And I'm looking at, we can see like if we have enough water in the front of the aircraft and in the back. And the front, there was like no water. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, okay, no problem, we can get it refilled. Then I kept looking on and I noticed that the water is actually inoperative. So we can't use it, something's wrong with it, and they haven't had the chance to fix it. Okay, so with this flight, it's only water, coffee, tea. You know what I was just talking about earlier. So I was just like, well, now we can't have any coffee or tea, so now it's just water. And I was just like, oh gosh, all right, so no problem, because we already have a game plan that we're just gonna do water. And started boarding, everything's good, perfect. And we're about to go ahead and close the door. And once I did close the door, I am checking the cabin with my flying partner. She is towards the back of the aircraft and I'm meeting her in the middle. So as I'm approaching, I see that she's talking to a gentleman in the exit row. And apparently, I guess the gentleman and the woman that was behind him, they had switched seats, but they didn't know that they did by accident. So they were like, oh, it's fine, like we can just sit where we're at. And my flying partner was like, okay, well that's fine, but because you're in the exit row, I need you to verbally say that you are willing and able to help me in case of an emergency. And now he probably shouldn't have, but he was just joking. But he was like, ooh, I guess so. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then she was like, oh no, y'all have to switch, y'all switching. And I'm like, girl, like he was joking, because he was like, afterwards he was like, yes, no, I'm like, I'm just playing. But she was like, no, like y'all are switching. And I was just like, wow, like what is going on? And I don't know what type of energy she was on, because literally everything has been good. I just said earlier, I feel like I was flying with the best flight crew. So I'm just like, what is happening? Then after she switches them, we come back up to the front and she was just like, tell me what happened. And I was just like, girl, well, I saw it for myself. So then we're about to push back. Everything's good. We did our demo. And then out of nowhere, we start hearing like these chimes and stuff. And now, of course, our chimes help signify like what to do next, if the captain's calling us, all that good stuff. And I'm like, I don't see no lights. I don't, like, nobody pressed the flight attendant button. Like, what is going on? And my flight partner was like, oh yeah, like the other flight attendant that was on the aircraft before us was saying that the chimes and stuff were going off and maintenance didn't fix it. And I'm like, what? Like, when were you gonna tell me this? So we called the captain, like, look, like these chimes are going off. Like, that's gonna completely annoy passengers. It's gonna worry passengers because they don't know what is going on. So we're like, yeah, we gotta fix this. And luckily our captain agreed, and he was just like, yeah, we're gonna go back to the gate and have maintenance board because we can't have that issue going on. So go back to the gate, open the door, and maintenance comes on, and he's like, oh yeah, I just gotta, you know, change some like power supply. Cool, no problem. But that was gonna take like 30 minutes, which luckily the passengers were understanding, so I'm so happy for that, grateful. But it was just like, can there be anything else happening today? Other than that, everything was pretty good. Once maintenance finished up, closed the door, we pushed back, took off, we were good. Granted, there was a lot of turbulence and everything, but it was manageable turbulence. Like, that's what I call it, manageable. Like, if you can still serve and stuff, I feel like you should, especially when passengers have been delayed, and we were already delayed by at least 30 minutes. So I just feel like we should accommodate them as much as possible. With that being said, I already did my first class drinks, and I was getting ready to do snacks, and my flying partner was like, oh, like, you know, the captain had just called, and it was just saying like it's gonna be a little bumpy and all that stuff. So she was like, if you don't want to serve, like, don't. And I was just like, no girl, like, I got it. Like, I want to serve, and you know, I really do feel bad for these passengers who have already experienced this delay. And she was just like, well, you really don't have to and stuff. And I'm like, girl, like, wait. And then she's just like, well, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You kind of are, but okay. So anyway, I still serve my passengers because that's the type of service that you are going to get from me, okay? And I just made sure that everybody was taken care of. But other than that, you guys, that was all that happened today. I'm gonna go ahead and brush my teeth and jump in this bed because I have a 4:30 van, and I should be getting back home around 1 o'clock. So that's really good. I don't mind waking up early when it comes to go home day because I'm trying to get home as quick as possible. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get some sleep so I can get up for this van tomorrow. I will see y'all in the morning. What's going on, move makers? Today is day 4, which is go home day. So excited. It's about 4:20-ish in the morning. My van is going to be leaving very soon, so I'm going to go ahead and hurry up. But today I'm going from Jacksonville, North Carolina back to Atlanta to Gulfport, Mississippi, and then Gulfport, Mississippi back to Atlanta. And that is it for today. I am going to just hope and pray the weather is okay. I know there's a lot of like crazy things about to happen. Like, it's about to snow in Atlanta soon, which I'm like, what is going on? I'm glad I'm not going to be flying because that just sounds like a hot mess. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and get to this van, and I will see you guys once I make it back home. What's going on, move makers? I have made it back to Atlanta. I only have 2 legs left, so that is just going to Gulfport, Mississippi, and then coming back. You guys, let me break this down to you real quick. So the crazy thing last night, I randomly woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I was just like, okay, well, there's no point because, you know, the van's at 4:30, so really not too much going on. But turns out there was a fire alarm that went off around 1:30. So technically when that happens, we can call into crew scheduling and say, hey, like, the fire alarm went off, and then they will have to reset our rest. And basically we would have been pushed back. We would have probably only did 1 flight instead of 3 today, but nobody called. I didn't hear it, so that's just not what happened today. But my captain had told my flying partner that if you're tired and if you're feeling fatigued, like, call in and say you're fatigued, and they'll just put somebody else on the trip. And she was like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't feel like it and stuff like that. And I'm just like, girl, like, this is go home day, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we only have 2 more legs, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we go there, we come back, let's get it done. But she's just like, no, like, I'm just gonna call, I'm going home. And I was like, okay, well, bye. So now I'm currently waiting for my new flying partner, and we're just gonna do this quick turn and come back. But until then, you guys, I will see y'all when I get back. What's going on, move makers? I have made it to Gulfport, Mississippi. Everything is going so well right now. I absolutely love my new flying partner. Super dope. Like, we just are vibing, so I absolutely love her. And we're gonna go ahead and get ready to board and get on our merry way to Atlanta. It's time to go home, y'all. It's been a long 4 days. What's going on, move makers? As you can tell, I have made it back home. Y'all, this 4-day trip really wasn't too bad. Like, I really enjoyed the first 2 days. It was just day 3 that really had me because of all the things that was going on with the aircraft. But one thing I forgot to tell you was that my flight attendant partner, when she was going back to sit down in her jump seat, she was trying her jump seat, and I was looking at her and I was like, okay, like, she's just having a little harder time pulling it out, but it's fine, she got it. So once she was about to sit down, she was fiddling with it, and then she got back up and started walking towards me, and I'm like, what is going on? Because the captain's waiting on me to call and say that we're ready to go. So I saw her getting up, and I'm like, what? And I walk up to her, I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And she was like, no, my jump seat, it's not working, the straps are not right, can you go check it? And I was like, yeah. So went back there, and I'm pulling on the jump seat, and it's messed up. Like, she can't use it. And I'm just like, what is going on? Because that's something that we're supposed to check during our pre-flight. You're always supposed to check that. So I'm like, girl, you didn't check it before we left the gate. So we had to like switch some people around so that she can sit in the back. But that was just another thing that had happened. And I'm just like, why? Other than that, it was still a pretty good trip. I'm glad I was able to meet different people. Again, like my captain and my first officer, my other flight attendant partner was really cool. So I appreciate the journey. But if you haven't already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you go ahead and subscribe and leave me a comment below. Also, be sure to follow me on social media so we can go ahead and connect with each other. And always remember, when you make a move, make sure it's for you. I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.